45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretch and True Blue 323 is ready in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm still adjusting a little tiny bit this tripod so it comes down a little bit in this angle. And in a second, we will be ready to begin. Boom. All right. Done. Whew. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we're about to put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, a little easier to stay consistent with, right? Because at the end of the day, you can have the best plan ever, but if you can't follow the plan, it's not the best plan for you. And what we focus on, other than hip mobility and side splits and moving a little bit better, is doing a little bit every day. All right, let's go. Let's warm up. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and strong and tight, and lift this knee up directly in front of you as high as you can. If you feel like you can go higher, please go a little bit higher. Open up that leg, point it directly to the side. Keep it high. Rotate the knee and the ankle. Rotate this bone so that your ankle is hidden behind your knee. Then keep going. Bring the knee down. Lift the ankle up. Ooh, that is a whole bunch of rotation. From here, we're going to bring the leg down and back. All right, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front of the hip. That is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these in total on the left, 10 of these on the right, and then we're going to reverse a whole bunch and do some more. So when I said 10 in total, that was just total misstatement. We got 40 in total. All right, let's go. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. Try your best to keep your hips more or less in the same spot as much as possible. Make all that movement come from your leg and at that hip joint. And I think that's 2. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 3. I think Che just came in and said hi. Hello, Che. Knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 4. I was pointed to the lint roller. I'm cleaning up dog fur everywhere, so ignore the details. And continue. High knee, open. And the doggy nose is covered in dog hair, so he went to go sniff it immediately. Open, ankle up, down and back. I think that's 5 or 6. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee, open, ankle up. Oh, I'm super off balance. Down and back. That's 8. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Keep going. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whoo! That is one set of hip cars. We got like 3 more, so don't get too excited. Let's continue on the other side. All your weight in one leg. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and tight, and let's go high knee. High knee some more. Lift that knee a little higher. Open it up. Rotate the leg. Bring the knee down. Ankle up. Bring the knee down some more. Bring the ankle up some more. Bring the leg down and back. Ooh, that's 1. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. Super off balance today. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. Whew, that's 10. Those are hip cars going forward. Take a second, do a little dance, do a little shake. Let's prepare to go in reverse. All right, we're doing 10 reps on each side, and when we go in reverse, we're going to start doing this. Bring the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front in the hip flexors. We're going to lift that leg up to the side so we get to that horizontal position. We're going to rotate the knee down, lift the ankle up. Switch, rotate the ankle down, lift the knee up, and then bring the knee forward. That is 1 rep. We got 10 of these on the left, 10 of these on the right. Hopefully, with all the explanation, your legs and your breath has been chilled out and caught. Your breath has been caught, your legs have been chilled, whatever. Let's go. Stand Stand up straight, core tight, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's one, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's three, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's four, keep going back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's five, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's six, keep going back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's seven, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's eight, two more, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's nine. Remember, the point of these is to try your best, lift as high as you can, rotate as deep into each of those positions as you can, so that you build more strength and mobility at the same time. All right? It's not about showing off what you're able to do right now. It's about pushing yourself to some crazier, cooler places. All right? Whew, I'm out of breath. We got one last set of 10. Let's get ready to go. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Tighten up that core. Stand up nice and straight. Plant that feet down. Spread those toes for a little extra support if you know how to. And hold on to something for balance if you need it. This is the last one. Let's go. Let's keep it strong. And let's finish things up. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's one. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's two. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's three. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's four. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's five. Back. I'm off balance. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's six. Keep going back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's seven. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's eight. Last two. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's nine. I'm off balance again. One last rep. Come on. Don't fall. I got it. I got it. I got it. Boom. All right. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 10. All right. This leg is super tired. Oh, catching myself without stepping down. It was really intense on the calf muscles, on the little tiny ankle muscles here. All right. Whew. That is our first warm-up exercise. We're finally done with part one of like 8, maybe 9. I can't remember how many things we have. But that just means it's time to move on to part 2. All right, let's continue. We are going to fold at the hips. We're going to bring our belly buttons down towards the ground. We're going to relax. We're going to chill. We're going to just flop over a little bit. All right. If your back is tight, just breathe. Give it a second. Relax. Inhale. Exhale. Chill. Once you're starting to feel pressure building in your hamstrings and maybe a little bit of relaxation happening in your low back, it's time to add some movement. All right. What I want you to do is bend one leg, straighten out the other, and we're going to bring the belly button down a little bit lower. We're going to switch. The knee that is bent is going to keep switching from side to side. And you can experiment a little bit by widening your legs. Find a comfortable spot for you to keep on doing the knee bends. Bring the belly button down, and don't forget to keep bending and folding and going. Let's go. There's not an exact number that I want you to do, but I do want you to focus on the intensity of the stretch. I want you to keep pushing yourself a little bit. Doesn't have to be a crazy intense push. Just make sure that you're not getting too relaxed, too comfortable, because that just means there's a little bit more you can give. All right. While you're doing these, I'm going to tell you about the rest of the show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we put ourselves through, like right now, and the next couple of minutes of exercise, a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, and hopefully easier to stay consistent with. If you like side splits, if you want to work on your hip mobility, if you need some help practicing consistency, we are here every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that, I think, means we started like 10 minutes ago. And you should keep coming back. All right? Hit follow, hit subscribe, do all those cool things, set reminders, set calendar invites, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. All right? For now, let's continue, and we're going to get a little deeper into the stretch. Bring your belly button down a little bit deeper, and a little bit deeper, and a little bit deeper, and five more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, pop into a little squat, stick your butt down, and come on up into standing. That is our second warm-up exercise. Whew, shake out your legs, do a little flop, do a little wiggle, relax, and let's get into warm-up exercise number 3. All right, what we're going to do is called thoracic rotations. The thoracic spine is basically beneath your neck and around your belly button, everything in between. All right, it's designed to rotate, which is a little bit of what we're about to do. It's designed to bend, designed to slouch, and do the opposite. All right, lots of movement is available here in this chunk of the spine, and what we're going to focus on is the rotation part. But we're going to get back into the spot that we were just in, where one leg is bent, one leg is straight, our belly buttons are folding down. All right, once you're starting to feel a little bit of that hamstring stretch, we're going to continue with some rotation. I want you to take the hand from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg side. We're going to push off that shin bone. The lower you push off of, the lower your body probably will be. And we're going to open up that chest. All right. I want you to try your best to stick your other hand up into the sky so you're already rotating. I want you to rotate your neck to look at that hand. Look at those fingernails. And I want you to reach. Breathe first. Inhale. Exhale and reach. Woo, reach over your shoulder. That is half a rep. Whew. We're doing 5 of these. All right. That was half of one. We got to do the other side. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Fold forward, open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale, exhale, and breathe and reach. That is 1 rep in total. We're doing 5. All right. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Inhale, exhale, reach. That's 2. Other side. That's 2 again. Keep going. When I make that sound, that's just me exhaling really loud so you can hear when I'm about to reach. All right, inhale, exhale. Reach. That's 3. We'll explain it from the top one more time. One leg is bent, one leg is straight. The arm from the bent leg side is reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing off that shin. We're extending the other arm into the air. We're looking at that hand. We're inhaling, exhaling, and reaching. I think this is 4. And other side. 4. Let's finish it up. 5. Take your time. Open it up. Inhale, exhale, and reach. When you feel like you're stuck as deep as you can on that first breath, go another breath. Inhale, exhale, and reach. Woo. When your shoulder muscles are super tired, chances are you're ready to stop. Other side, let's go. Finish this up. Inhale, exhale, and reach. One more. Inhale, exhale, reach. That's 5. Whew. If your shoulders, this part, your delts, feeling real tired, that's okay because we don't need them for anything else, right? Just let them relax, let them flop. They'll become normal in a little bit. If your spine is feeling a little bit looser, then I want you to put it to work. All right, I want you to own that mobility. I want you to do some body rolls, put that spinal mobility to some use right away. All right, once you're ready, we're going to move on into our 4th and final warm-up exercise. What it is called is the Cossack switch. I'm going to demonstrate real quick. You don't have to do it with me just yet. We're going to warm up for that warm-up exercise with something different. All right. What we're going to do eventually looks like this. We're going to drop down into a deep squat on one leg. We're going to get into basically a side split in the other leg. We're going to sink as low as we can get. Then we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, pause, and then come on back. For most of us, our ankles, our knees, our hips are not going to be ready to go super deep into the ground. So take your time, slowly drop into a bit of a squat. Grunt, groan, make some sound effects. Try and sit or I guess try to squat as comfortably as you can, as deep as you can. All right. Most of us, you're going to find your heels are coming up off the ground. That is okay. When your heels are off the ground, you're going to feel more of an Achilles tendon stretch. You're going to feel more of a calf stretch anyway. So that's perfectly fine with me. From here, I want you to bring your chest down to your knees. I want you to pretend you're about to do a cannonball and you're jumping into a pond, into a lake, into the ocean. And I just want you to hang out here for a little bit. All right? Inhale. Exhale. Breathe. All right. Once you hung out there for a little bit, we're going to add some movement. We're going to work those ankles. We're going to work those knees a little bit. What I want you to try to do is bring your knee down with control towards the ground, just one knee at a time. Boom. If you are finding that you lose control and all of a sudden you go boom and you're slamming into the ground, stop going so far. Just stop right before you lose control. All right? We'll build strength there. It's all good. You don't have to slam your knees into the ground. That hurts. Other leg. Come on down. Gentle love tap. Bring it back up. Other leg down. Gentle love tap. Bring it back down. Or up, whatever direction you got to be going in. That's not the direction that you can't go any further in. And once you've done a couple of those, we're going to move on. We're going to come back into our cannonball position. We're going to push our legs out and bring back in. Push it out and bring back in. Push both out at the same time. Bring back in. Now that we've added a little bit of movement, hopefully your ankles aren't too tired, your calves aren't too tired, because we're going to move on into some Cossack switches. All right, come on over. I'm going to scoot over. You don't have to move because I can't see you, but you have to see me. From here, we're sticking our hands straight down into the ground. We're extending one leg out. We are planting this heel down into the ground. If you're newer to the show, start yourself a little bit higher. If you're more experienced, if you're really good at Cossack switches in general, feel free to go as low as you want. All right. Whatever your height is, our next step is moving our butts that way. All right. You can use your hands to give yourself a little bit of support to help you over. You can use a coffee table. You can use a stool to use some hand support to come on over. Or if you're tall enough, you're high enough in this position that you don't need anything at all. You can just come over nice and gracefully. Feel free to do that. Once you're over to the other side, try your best to sink as low as you can. Inhale. Exhale. Find a nice deep position and then come on back the same way you came over. Put your hands on the ground if you can, and boom, that is one rep. Keep going. Hands down, across. That's 1.5. And now we're at 2. If you feel like you're ready for a more difficult version, try and do it without hands. 3. Still 3. Keep going. Forward. Sit down, sink into it, and come on back. 4. If you're ready for something even more difficult, try and sit up a little bit straighter. Your chest was leaning super far forward. Now we want it to go straight up into the air as much as you can. And you might want to stick your hands out in front to help counterbalance you. All right? I think this is 5. Keep going. Across and back. That's 6. Remember, you can do whatever version works for you. You don't have to keep pushing if you don't want to. All right? At this point, if your knees are making you a little bit uncomfortable, you can do some slides. All right. What that means is I want you to try and squat up a little bit, slide on over, and then come on back down. Sink into it, get low, and then come on back up, across, and down. That's 7. Up, across, and down. One more up, across, and down. That's 8. We're going to do some squats now. All right. We're going to power off this one leg to the best of our ability. We're going to go boom into standing. Slowly come on down on the other side. And boom, back into standing. If you've been using some hand props at some point already, feel free to push off that for a little bit of support if you need it. All right. Or just skip the squats altogether and do whatever else we have that works for you. All right. Come on back down. Last one. Boom. Squat. Come on back down. This is the final one, I promise. Squat. And we are done. That is 10 Cossack switches, Cossack slidey things, and Cossack squats. We have wrapped up our the first chunk of our show, our warm up. We're going to move on into our stretches. All right. If you're just joining in, we're doing 45 to 60-ish minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering we keep on putting ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, so that you can actually practice some consistency. All right. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you like the idea of consistency, then make sure to follow, hit subscribe, and Keep coming back. I don't know what I'm doing with my arm, but keep coming back. All right. Let's move on into our first stretch. The first thing is a hamstring stretch. It's going to look a little bit like this next thing I show you after I tell you to grab stuff. Grab a little bit of cushioning for your knee. We're going to drop one knee down onto the ground. It's going to need some support. All right. Doesn't have to be a fancy cushion. It could be a decorative pillow. It could be a couch cushion. It could be an old dog toy that's been chewed up and abandoned and forgotten about. Stick it under your knee. You're ready to go. Roll up some old dirty laundry. Stick it under your knee. You're ready to go. Cool. All right. Now let's talk about the position we're going to get into. I want you to try your best to drop to one knee and kneel up very straight. All right. So your knees to your hips to your shoulder to your head. Nice straight line. And then this other leg, I want you to extend out from that straight line. What I don't want you to do, so don't, is this. We're not doing a front split right now, all right? We're doing a hamstring stretch. We're going to just focus on the hamstrings. We're not going to add any extra complexity to it. Focus on keeping this line nice and straight and tall. Cool? From here, we're going to fold the belly buttons down to that thigh. Ready? Fold. Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, we're just going to chill and we're going to relax. All right? Take a deep breath in. Inhale. Relax. Your body flop over that leg and one more. Inhale. Relax. Oh, man. Woo. Fold on down. Chill for a second. Now we're going to add some movement. All right? What I want you to do is bend the knee up. Bring your chest down to touch that thigh. And then slowly straighten that leg back out while keeping your chest really low. Keep going. Knee, chest, straighten it out. Knee, chest, straighten it out. See if you can get a little bit lower to the ground every single time and stay that low. From here, once you've done about 5, we're going to go a little deeper. All right, we're going to do something called the inhale, exhale, fold. We're going to take a big, huge breath into our lungs. We're going to slowly exhale all that air. And while we're exhaling that air, we're going to fold and focus on bringing the belly button down to touch the thigh. All right, you don't have to actually touch the thigh, but just try your best to fold forward. Cool? All right, big inhale. Let's go. Inhale. Slowly exhale and fold. And when you can't fold anymore, your hamstrings are complaining to you, it's time to inhale and relax. All right, breathe. Inhale. Relax. Flop over that leg. One more. Inhale. Relax. Flop over that leg. And we're going to add some more movement. All right, bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. When I say chest down, that's mostly just to give you something to move towards that leg. I really want you to focus on your belly button up to your chest, that whole entire straight line, bring it down. I don't want you to just round your back and try to touch, like, the tip of your shoulder down to your knee. Keep that back relatively flat when you bring it down, all right? Whew. We've done a whole bunch of movement. Now we're going to get a little deeper, all right? We're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold one more time. Let's go. Big inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Chest down, belly button down. Whoo! And once you can't get any further, inhale, relax. Let your body drape over that leg. One more inhale. Let your body drape over that leg. Last little bit of movement. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. You don't have to go fast. It's not supposed to be explosive. Take your time with it. We're just adding movement, reminding you how to fold forward, and we're ready to go. If your knee is hurting in this position, you can give it a slight bend that will take pressure off your knee and your hamstring stretch. All right? 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27. Keep folding. Bring that belly button down. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. That's not going to help you relax. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Come on back up, kneel straight. Bring that leg in underneath you. If you're waddling a little bit, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Take a couple seconds, flex your glutes real hard, clench the butt cheeks like you're about to get spanked. That will get your muscles firing so that your butt muscles that was all stretched out is a little bit more not all stretched out and floppy right now. And we're going to switch over to the other side. All right. Other leg out in front. Remember, we're folding the belly button down to that thigh. Let's go. Fold. Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, inhale, relax. Inhale. Flop over that leg. One more. Inhale. Relax. Whew. Whew. And we're getting back into the movements. All right. Knee up, chest down, straighten it out. 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 Last one, knee up, chest down, straighten it out. And once you're in your deeper stretch, we're going to inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's do this. Big inhale, big breath. Slowly exhale and fold. Woo. When you can't get any deeper, inhale and relax. Let your body drape over that leg. One more inhale. Relax. Flop over that leg and let's get ready to move. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. 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 I'm talking fast. I'm moving fast. That does not mean you have to move fast. Take your time. Help yourself relax. And once you're in your deeper position, we're going to go a little deeper. All right. Last inhale, exhale, fold. Finish things up. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo-hoo. Oh man, that is deep into our stretch. Inhale, relax. Let your body flop over that leg. One more inhale. Relax. Let your body flop over that leg. And last round. Knee bend, chest down, straighten. 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 That's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. If your hamstrings are feeling crazy and you're like, I can't do this no more, take your fingers, stab them into your hamstrings, give yourself a light massage, poke, prod, twist, rotate, I don't know, just mess around. Distract your brain from how intense the hamstring stretches with some new sensations. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Don't forget, we're trying to bring our belly buttons down to the ground. So try it again. Try some more. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. We're done. Pull your leg in underneath you. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Come back into that kneeling straight position. Flex your glutes. Clench your butt. Clench your abs. And relax. Oh, man. That is our first stretch. We're going to move on into stretch number 2. We're going to do some butterfly. All right. What I want you to do is scoot your butt up against a wall. All right. And I want you to rest your low back, your shoulders, your head up against that wall so that you're in a nice, comfortable position with some back support. Once you are here, we're going to get into the butterfly stretch. This is the starting position. The goal of the butterfly stretch is to stretch out the groin muscles in this area right here. And the way you do that is by bringing your knees down into the ground. All right. I want you to get stronger whenever we train. So I want you to use your butt muscles. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to contract them and I want you to pull your legs open so you can bring your knees down into the ground with just your muscles. All right. If you've never been on this live before and you have no idea what muscles I'm talking about, how to do this, don't worry. Just focus on 2 things. 1, you're feeling a more intense stretch here along the inside of your thighs. If that's good. 2, if your knees went down to the ground just a teeny little bit, you're moving in the right direction. That's all that matters. All right. From here, we're taking our hands, we're applying a little bit of pressure just inside of our knee a little bit. All right. I want you to push your arms straight down. When you do this, you might feel some pressure in the back of your head and in your shoulders. That is normal. We're going to hold this position for about 30 seconds. Every time you exhale, I want you to push a little bit deeper into the ground with your hands and experiment with your butt muscles and your outer thigh muscles. All right? 30, 29, 28, 27. On the exhale, push a little deeper. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Keep pushing. 15, 14. If you have pain, if there's something distinctly crazy, you can stop. You don't have to keep pushing harder. All right. But if you're not in a painful situation, you're just feeling a nice stretch, go a little bit harder. 12, 11, 10, 9. Last couple of seconds. If you haven't been flexing your glutes, flex them. If you have been, relax them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax. Ugh. Let your arms go. If your wrists are floppy because they are so tired, give them a little shake. If your legs are able to, I want you to try and flap them like wings, like a butterfly. If your legs aren't moving very well, they're a little beat up because of that stretch, feel free to grab them, give them a little shake, and go, hey, hey, wake up, we got stuff to do. And other side, hey, hey, wake up, we got stuff to do. And that should help your legs move a little bit more smoothly. All right? When you're ready, let's move on into our third stretch. We got some standing pancake. Ooh, come on back into standing because it's the standing pancake. And shake out your legs, shake out your arms. Let's get ready to go. Open up your legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. All right. Make sure there's no pain in the hips. There's no weird sensation. There's no tightness. There's no pinching. And we're ready to fold. Bring your belly button down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, that is your starting position. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. All right. The goal of the pancake stretch and all pancakes in general is to fold your upper body in between your legs with your back relatively straight. If it's slightly bent, it's okay. But this is our goal to get as far in between our legs as possible. And it's crazy. It requires so much flexibility. That is why we do the standing version, all right? Because gravity will do a whole bunch of heavy lifting for you. When your body is like this, gravity is going to feel real intense pulling you down. And that's what we want. If you want a little bit more intensity, stick your arms up above your head. If you want something even crazier than that, hold something in your hands while you do that. And next time you exhale, sink, try and bring your belly button down to the ground. That is how we set up the stretch, all right? If you're feeling a little advanced, you can open up your legs a little bit. You can go a little bit wider. You can also stick your butt back a little bit. So instead of having your legs go straight up, they're going slightly backwards. And that will help you fold into a deeper stretch without having your hands slam into the ground. All right? I hope you're ready to go. I hope that wasn't too much information. I hope you found something that you can do because 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Put your hands down. Bring your legs in underneath you. If your legs are not coming together right now, feel free to try to wiggle your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels and your toes and your heels together until your legs are underneath you, and then slowly walk your hands up your legs until you're back into standing. Oh man. Oh, that is our standing pancake. We're done with the hardest stretch in our whole entire show. Congratulations. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. It is an optional stretch, and it's optional in that we got two different things you can choose from, right? Not that you can skip it. Our two stretches are the figure four stretch or the pigeon stretch. They both have the same fundamentals and they look a little bit like this. We're going to bring one leg across the body so that the ankle is resting just above the knee, making this thing that kind of looks like number four. We're going to lift that ankle up to our belly buttons, and we're going to bring our belly buttons down towards our ankles. We're getting into this forward folded position because everything we do is in a forward folded position. And you should feel a little bit of a stretch here in the side of your hip. This is a glute muscle. You might also feel some stretch in your hamstrings and also in this part of your leg where you're actually doing the folding. All right. When I say you have the option between the figure four or the pigeon, is because they both have the same fundamentals. If one is easier for you to get into, one is easier for you to control, get into that one. All right. I can't remember what we did yesterday. I feel like it was the figure four, but honestly, I do so many of these, my brain kind of pulls blanks occasionally, and it might have been pigeon that we did yesterday. So I'm just gonna pick one at random, and I'm gonna go do that one. You can do whichever one you feel like if you know what they are, and if you don't know what they are, then do the one that I do. We're doing the figure four. All right. I want you to lay on down, come onto the floor, relax. As I'm sitting down, I feel like we did the figure four yesterday, but I can't remember. The days are blending together. All right, from here, we're going to cross one leg over to the other side. We're going to make this little triangle right here. All right, I want you to take the hand from the side where the leg is crossed over. So left leg right now, left hand. We're going to cross that into or sink that into the triangle we just made. We're going to take the other arm, the only remaining arm. We're going to wrap around the outside of the leg that is bent. And we're going to pull that leg in towards our chest. All right. I want you to hold this leg in towards your chest for the next couple of seconds. On the inhale, exhale, pull your leg in a little bit. All right. Slowly, slowly. Inhale, exhale, pull that leg in. Inhale, exhale, pull that leg in. And now we're ready to start. 30 seconds. Keep on pulling. 29, 28, 27. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Keep on pulling those legs into your chest. If you're feeling some pressure in the knee at any point, go ahead and cup the knee and pull on it a little bit directly. That will help bring your leg in closer to your chest and also take pressure off the knee. 20, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep pulling. Don't stop. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax. Flop onto the floor and chill. That is one side. We got to do the other side. All right. Come on over. We're taking the other leg. We're crossing it over this time. We're making that triangle. We're taking the arm from the same side as that leg that's crossed over, sticking it through the triangle, taking the other arm, the only remaining arm, and wrapping it around the other leg. Whew. Once you're here, I want you to inhale, exhale, and pull that leg in a little bit. Whew. Another inhale, exhale, and pull that leg in a little bit more. Whew. One more inhale, exhale, and pull that leg in a little bit more. Feel that stretch in that outside of the hip, in the glutes, and let's go. 30 seconds. Cup that knee. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep pulling. Don't stop. 20. Wait, 19, 18. I forgot how to count for a second. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I don't know why I was playing with my announcer voice a whole bunch of times, but if you have a favorite announcement voice, it's probably going to be really hard to remember which one it was. We are done with our figure four stretches, which means we're going to move on into our fifth and our final set of stretches. We're doing some side splits, all right? But the side splits we do a little bit differently compared to the rest of the show. We're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds because this is a side splits and hip mobility show, all right? We did a whole bunch of hip mobility. Now we got to do some side splits. Can't just be 1 round of side splits. We're doing 3, all right? If you have never been here before, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which means we started about 41 minutes ago to build some consistency, to have a little bit of fun, build some community, and make the suffering that we're doing a little bit more enjoyable, so that's easier to stay consistent. All right. If you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you like consistency, if you like suffering, feel free to keep coming back. Feel free to keep coming. Remember, that's not how that works. Feel free to keep. Wait, that is right. Feel free to keep coming back. That sounds so weird. Now that I'm thinking about it, all grammar is now going crazy. All right, keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. Let's get into some side splits. Whew. Come on up into standing first and foremost, and I want you to rest your butt up against the wall. All right, heels against the wall, and then I want you to completely stop because I forgot the first actual step. I want you to go grab something to support your hands. At some point or another, you're going to end up in a situation that looks a little bit like this. Your legs are going to be wide, your hands are going to be on something. All right? What you use is up to you. If you have a taller stool, if you have a taller chair, that's perfectly fine. You can get lower by resting your elbows on it, and that's cool too. All right? I have a couple of folding stools. Nothing fancy, not specific to fitness or stretching equipment. If you have some textbooks, if you got a couple of yoga blocks, if you have a coffee table that's lightweight enough to move around, but also stable enough for you to lean against, feel free to use that. All right. Now that we have covered the equipment that you need, let's get into some side splits. You can move that equipment slightly off to the side so that's accessible but not in your way. Cool. But up against the wall. Then we're going to take half a step forward, a tiny, tiny little baby step right in front of the wall. We're going to start opening up our legs a little bit wider. All right. I want you to find a nice, comfortable position. Doesn't have to be crazy wide, but it should not be too wide because chances are your hips will start feeling a little uncomfortable. When you get too wide when you're standing like this, your thigh bone is going to smash into your hip bone. We do not want that. So if you're feeling a pinching sensation right here, stop, bring your legs together, and do a little hip shake, wiggle, make sure nothing hurts, and we're ready to fold. Bring this belly button down to the ground. Wee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, test your depth. If you can palm the floor, you might not need the hand support, but most of us are going to enjoy it anyway. So if you have one, feel free to use it right now. What we're going to do is put our hands on that hand support. We're going to try and get a little bit wider with our legs, and we're going to rest our butts up against that wall. Okay? I want you to pull everything in towards the wall so that you're very, 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 very close to the wall. The wall is there to support your butt. You can't fall backwards. And if your hands are locked in right in front of you on something stable, you can't fall forwards. It's going to be much easier for you to relax, to feel like you're in control. Okay? That's what we want. If you're feeling tense, if you're feeling scared, if you feel like you're about to fall, your muscles are going not to relax. And not relaxing is also not stretching. All right? So once you've got all your equipment, you find a comfortable spot, we're going to rotate our legs to make sure that thigh bone doesn't pinch into your hip bone again. All right. What that means is we're going to rotate this leg backwards 90 degrees. Right now, the knees are kind of vaguely pointing in front towards you guys. What we're going to do is go boom, have the knee point straight up. All right. The toes are up, the heels are down, and the knees are pointing up. We got to do this on both sides. Boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, try and get a little bit wider, a little bit lower to the ground. Keep your hands on that stool. Rest your butt against the wall. Find a nice, comfortable position to get into where you feel like you're in control. And once you're there, it's time to get a little deeper. All right, I want you to inhale. Nice big deep breath. Slowly exhale. See if you can sink a tiny bit deeper. All right, one more. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink a little tiny bit deeper. Keep going. One more. Inhale. Exhale. See if you can sink a little tiny bit deeper. At this point, if you want to stop going deeper, you can absolutely stop, right? You don't have to keep pushing yourself. But if you want to keep pushing yourself, try and do a little lean to the right, ooh, a little lean to the left, a little lean to the right, ooh, a little lean to the left, and see if you can get just a tiny bit deeper. Right now, if your butt is against the wall, your knees are pointing up, your toes are pointing up, the top of your head is basically also pointing up. We're in a side split, and we're going to hold this position for 30 seconds. You ready? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. If you want, you can see if you can wiggle a little bit, get a little deeper. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Oh, man, we're done. Oh, grunt, groan, bring your legs in underneath you. Oh, whew, that is our first side split. All right. If you weren't here for when we started and somehow you just jumped into the side split, that's awesome of you. But we also have 3 of these in total, so we got 2 more. All right. Right now, your legs are probably really fried and they don't want to move. What we're going to do is shake out our legs, shake out that tension, and hopefully relax them enough to help you get into a deeper second side split and a deeper third side split. All right? Come on up into standing. Take a step forward. Power through. Come on up. And waddle around like a drunk penguin. Find a nice, comfortable position. Hold on to something for balance if you need it. And let's shake out our ankles. All right? I want you to look at that foot. I want you to go flop, 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 flop. You don't have to start super intense. Start nice and gentle. Give it a little shake, a little wiggle. And you also don't have to lift the leg that high. You can keep it really low to the ground. I lift it high so that in case you're watching on mobile, it's over the chat so you can see the leg going blah, 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 flopping all over the place. Okay? As you find it comfortable, flop a little harder, flop a little wider, flop a bit more, flop a little bit more intensely, pick up the speed, if you find it comfortable. All right. If it's feeling crazy intense, if it's feeling painful, then you should not flop any harder. You should dial it back. The reason why we are flopping, and you can switch to the other side now, is because when your legs are moving this fast, your muscle control, you probably couldn't even contract your muscle this fast. Sends your foot flying from the right to the left as fast as it's flopping around right now. Right? That means for your foot to get to any of those crazy positions, your muscles have to be super relaxed, right? There's no tension because it's letting it go blah, 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 whatever it wants. If there was tension, it'd probably be a lot slower, like when you're using your muscles to try and get your foot to move to those places, all right? Hope that kind of explains things because we're going to move on. We're going to move on into our hips, all right? All your weight into one leg, big toe is down. We're going to rotate our knee in and out and in and out. All of your weight is in this one standing leg. The big toe of the bent leg is down. We are rotating and working on that full range of motion, especially if you're brand new to the show. I want you to point that knee all the way out, straight that way. Then I want you to rotate inwards, get the knees to almost touch. Feel the tension here in the side of the hip. Feel the tension in the middle of your butt when you open it, and keep going. Do a couple of these. Build some strength, build some control, and pick up the pace if you can. Do a little more wildly, and then we'll switch to the other side. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, and whew. Do a little shake, do a little wiggle. Help your muscles relax over your whole entire body. Turn yourself into a giant noodle, soggy noodle blob, and we're gonna move on into our second stretch. All right, let's go. Butt up against the wall. Take half a step forward, open up the legs nice and wide, make sure your hips don't hurt. Belly button down, let's go. Fold. If you can palm the floor, you might not need hand support, but for most of us, hand support is gonna be lovely. So get yourself a stool, a chair, a coffee table, something you can hold on to, but also move a little bit to help accommodate and find a comfortable spot for you. All right. Next, we're going to try to put our hands on that hand support. We're going to rest our butt on the wall. We're going to open up our legs a little bit wider and sink into the ground. Find a comfortable position where you feel like you're in control. You don't feel like you're going to slip, where you're not going to fall. And we're going to take it up, or I guess down, to the next level. All right. I want you to rotate the legs. Boom. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Other leg, heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Remember, this is to rotate the thigh bone out of the way so it does not smash into your hip bone and cause you pain. From here, I want you to breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. All right, let's go. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. All of these are optional, by the way. If you feel like you're really stuck, you don't have to keep pushing. All right. Now, Let's lean. A little lean to the right. Ooh. Little lean to the left. Ah. Little lean to the right. Little lean to the left. When you are totally stuck and you can't go any further, it is time for us to get into split number 2. This time, I want you to walk your hands forward just a little bit so that your hands are underneath your shoulders, so it looks like you're about to do a push-up. All right. When you do that, your hips are going to follow you. Your knees are going to kind of be pointing up at a 45-degree angle, and this is going to emphasize the inner thighs a little bit more, which is what we want. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27. To make the stretch more intense on your inner thighs, bend your elbows, almost sit back a little bit. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. Add a little wiggle too if you want. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're almost done. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in underneath you. That is our stretch. Whew. Breathe, catch your breath, and when you're ready, come on back up into standing, and let's shake out that tension and get back into side split number 3. Let's go. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, 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 shake some more. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. And other side. Shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Shakety, shake, shake, shake. Shake some more. Shake, 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 shake. Remember, the shaking is all about relaxation, right? If you find that you're going, I need to shake, so I'm going to point my foot this way or that way or this way or that way, and you're actively doing it with your muscles, that is the opposite of what we want. We want that flopping to come from just pure momentum, from blah, 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 blah. All right, next, moving on into our hips. All your weight in one leg, big toe is down. We're working on building some strength and control with this movement. This is internal and external rotation of the hip, and this is real good for you. But you know what else is really good for you is putting it to work, making it fun. If you want to turn into a little bit of a dance move, you can pop a little bend in this knee. You can send this leg out to the side, and you can go boom, do some stanky leg. All right, boom, stanky leg on that side, on this side, on that side, on this side. Have some fun with the mobility that you're building. Find cool ways to use it so that you own it, so that you keep it. All right. If you never use it ever again outside of this live, it's going to be really hard for you to maintain and keep that ability that you're building. Cool. If just doing that feels like you only do half the motion, that's true. You can, from here, after you've done the stinky leg, rotate that leg out, push that leg back out, and reset. Turn it into a nice graceful circle or motion of in and outs, and hopefully you're having enough fun with it that you forgot that your legs are tired and you need to be flopping around. Flop some more. Flop some more. Flop again. Keep flopping, and let's get into side split number 3 to wrap things up. All right? Butt against the wall. Whew. Take half a step forward. Open up your legs nice and wide. Make sure there's no pain in the hips. If they hurt, bring your legs in together just a little bit, assuming that it is because your thigh bone is smashing into your hip bone. If your hips hurt from some other reason, maybe you should just stop. Okay? From here, we are going to fold. Bring the belly button down to the ground. Whee! Ugh. If your hands can reach, you might be able to do this without any hand support, but for most of us, you're going to enjoy having some hand support. Hands on the hand support. Legs a little bit wider. Butt against the wall. Find a comfortable position, and we're going to rotate the legs. We're going to rotate the legs backwards 90 degrees so that the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are up. And the same on the other side. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are up. Put your hands on your hand support. Rest your butt against the wall. Find a nice, comfortable position for your legs so that you feel balanced. You feel like you're in control, and you feel like you might be able to relax. All right. Once you're there, let's go. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. One more. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. Keep going. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into your stretch. If you want, do a little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right, little lean to the left. Even get just a little bit more, and now we got options. You can do the first version of the stretch, where our toes and our knees are pointing straight up, the top of our head was pointing straight up. You're going to feel more of a stretch in your hamstring. You can do the second version of the stretch, where our hands were in that push-up position. You felt it a little bit more in your inner thighs. Whatever you want to do, get into it, and let's begin. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. If you want to make this stretch feel more intense on your leg muscles, bend your elbows. That will make everything harder. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Try to add a little wiggle so you can get a little bit more range. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, almost done. 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in underneath you. That is our third and final stretch. Grunt, grunt. Make as many sound effects as you need to. Congratulations. We are done with all the hard stuff. From here on out, we're going to get back into standing. We're going to shake it out. We're going to relax. We're going to do some joint checks, and I'm going to sit down and check out the chat like a Q&A. All right? Come on, back up into standing. Ugh. Shake out those ankles. Shake, 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 shake. The more you shake, the more consistency with this movement you practice, the faster your muscles will learn to relax. All right. Might not happen today. That's not what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to shake for 15 minutes today. I'm saying over the course of the next couple of days, if you add up 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there, you get a total of 15 minutes over the course of a couple of weeks. That is going to help teach your brain to relax on command, because this, in fact, is a skill. All right. Shaking it out, relaxing, get your body loose. You can use it for other things, not just for your side splits. When your muscles are loose, when they're relaxed, you can do the opposite a little bit better. You can contract better. So you can use that for your workouts. All right. Next, we're putting all our weight into one leg. Big toe of the other leg down. We're rotating in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Take it a little bit faster. Have a little bit more fun with it. Shake, 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 shake. Turn it into a dance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And whew, other side. All your weight in one leg. Big toe is down. In, out, in, out, in, out. Have fun with it. All right. We're building strength. We're building mobility. But if you never use it, you're going to lose it again. So have fun with it. Own it. Do cool new things because you can now. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And whew, let's jump into our joint checks. We're going to start with some hip circles. You put your hips through a lot today, so we're going to slowly stick our hips in crazy directions to see what is feeling weird. Oh, slowly come on through those hip circles. Really lean into it. Feel those hips. Oh, I tend to feel it a lot in the left and right side of the hip after the side splits, I guess. So if you are feeling the same, feel free to just stop and hang out in that side and go, oh, wow, that's nice. And keep going. Oh, man, that's nice. Okay. All right. If you've switched directions a couple of times, if you've done a couple of loops, we're probably ready to move on into some high knees. Just 1 and 2, and we're ready to continue. We're going to do some calf raises from a squatting position, and it's going to look a little like this. I want you to take your legs, and I want you to bring them about hips width apart. All right, not super wide, not super narrow, just about hips width apart. And then we're going to drop down into a squat. What I want you to do, try and push this out of the way. Oh, no, that takes up way too much space. Push that out of the way. And what I want you to do looks a little bit like this. All right, I want you to have your chest almost leaning forward, almost like you're about to tip over that way. Then I want you to take your knees. Then I want you to point your knees real far that way so that your knees are past your toes if you can. All right. When you feel that Achilles tendon stretch, when you feel that calf stretch, you're doing it right. And you might really want to fall forward. All right. When you really want to fall forward, your toes are going to kick in. They're going to work real hard to grip into the floor to keep you from falling, and that is what we want. All right. From here, stick your hands down for some ham support. If you don't need it, you don't need it. Come on up. Come up into a calf raise. Try to balance your weight between your big toe and your index toe, maybe your big toe and your middle toe, and that will help your ankles go straight up and down. All right. I'm going to face you for a couple of these if you're interested. And We're gonna lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, and the weight should be between the big toe and the middle toe, because if you spread it across the whole entire forefoot, you tend to have it go out like that instead of up, straight and down, straight up and down. Whew, my calves are tired. All right, that's it. If you're able to do most of that movement, you were able to get a nice crazy stretch in your Achilles tendon. You were able to get your toes to work really hard to grip the floor. You were able to get that nice stretch in your calf muscle, and then you were able to get that calf muscle to work really hard to lift you up. Your quads were crying. Your low back was telling you to stop. And you were able to get your toes, your ankles, your knees, your hips, all of those things to work real well together, right? So chances are you're pretty much good to go back to whatever else you got to do. Ooh, we got a question. Cheryl, 62. Actually, I'm gonna scoot over. Ugh. Debbie says, "Good morning." Good morning. It's evening for me, but good morning to you. Cheryl says, "What happens when you have a bunion? If you have a bunion, chances are your big toe kind of goes inwards a little bit, and that kind of pops out right here at that joint. Um, you should still be able to get your second to your fourth toes to really grip the floor. You might not have as much control over your big toe because your big toe is probably going to be a little rotated and not perfectly smooth. Like the bottom of that toe is not going to be perfectly flat on the ground, and that's okay. But I do want you to try your best. Um, when you are doing the calf raises with that bunion, your toes might dip inwards a little bit, and your knees might also dip inwards a little bit. I want you to try your best to bring your knees relatively close to the same width as your ankles are apart. All right. If your knee is going like this because your arches are collapsing because your bunion is like this and your toe is going a little bit like this, try your best to stabilize the knees, because doing squats from this position, doing a lot of them is going to make your knees achy. Doing a couple of them is not that big a deal, actually. So since we only do like 5, it might be okay. Do I have anything else? I don't have anything specific for helping to adjust for bunions, so I think that's about all I can offer. I hope that helps. Cheryl says, "I had a bad fall, not good with balance." If you are struggling with balance, there is definitely exercises that probably would not make very much sense for you to do right now, including that movement we were just doing with the calf raises, right? If your balance is not very strong, you should start with some regular balancing exercises and not with this super lean forward, crazy calf raise thing. Um, if you've seen a doctor or a PT about your balance training, then you should probably go follow that workout. But balance is more than just your like your 2 feet and how you balance between 2 feet, right? Balance, um well, the organs for balance is in your ears. There's not much deeper I want to go into that topic. But there's a lot of little muscles that work to help stabilize your body, right? Um, when you lean really far to the left, your hips can move out of the way and help bring you back a little bit, right? It doesn't have to happen all in just your feet or your leg muscles, although having really strong leg muscles will help you balance a lot better. So when you focus on balance training, I think you should try it in a variety of different environments, in a variety of different scenarios to help build up a variety of different types of balancing. I think balance and strength are very closely tied together. If you have a lot of strength, you can overcome some of your balance challenges. So uh, a healthy balance between the skill of balancing and then just brute forcing your muscles to work so that you have stability. Um, don't sleep on strength training. It doesn't have to be crazy strength training, like you don't have to lift 100-pound dumbbells or whatever. But experiment with strength training and basic balancing work. What is basic balancing work that you could be doing? If you're going for the cheap and simple route, if you buy a 2x4, or if you have one in the garage or a neighbor has a piece of wood that's nice and long, 2x4s are about 3.5 inches wide. If you can balance your foot on that and just walk across that surface, that will give you a slightly elevated situation where you might be able to experiment a little bit with bring your knees and your legs in to the center line and moving back and forth. Maybe try going backwards. But you might want to do that really close to a wall. You might want to have that block of wood on a yoga mat or something that's grippy so it doesn't slide out from underneath you. You want to make sure that if you're struggling with balance, that your environment is as conducive to stableness so that you're not going to suffer from the lack of stableness in the environment. I hope that helps. Cheryl is seeing a physio and under occupational therapy. Amazing. Okay. In that case, hopefully they're providing much more useful answers than I am. All right. I'm gonna scroll and take a look at what else we got in the comments. Queen RR says happy Monday over on YouTube. Kyle says, can I send a gift? Um, sure, I guess. I'll accept gifts. ABCDFG says, hi, bye, Ken. I like the pace. Awesome. Good. Oh, I forgot when we ended, but I thought we were going a little bit faster earlier. Hopefully it was a little bit faster. And Kuyara says, I'll see you next time. All right. Amazing. What about TikTok? What's going on? I'm going to scroll real quick to the top to see what the earliest message is. Somebody wrote, a ton wrote, Senpai, I had too many beers for this right now, but I'm proud of you. Amazing. Thank you. Enjoy the beers. Try not to work on your balance right now. Chill, relax, have a good time, and thank you for dropping by. Lemon and I says, regular was great. My brain is just like, what? Reverse? How? Oh, okay. In the hip cars, I've been going through them progressively faster. I used to spend a lot more time explaining them, but not very many people have been like, Ken, you're going too fast. So I've been slowly speeding it up a little bit and a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. I think it's the first time somebody's said something in a couple of weeks. But if you're still here, we'll talk about hip cars real quick. All right. Hip cars cars stands for controlled articulated rotations. So we're really just trying to get our hip and our leg to get through as much range of motion as possible using our own muscle power. All right. So we're going to build some strength as well as mobility at the same time. And it looks a little bit like this. We're going to try and lift our knee as high as we can. We're going to open it up as wide as we can. We're going to rotate the ankle up. We're going to keep rotating the ankle up. And in that case, it means the knee is going to come down a little bit. We're going to bring the leg down and back. And when we bring the leg forward, technically, there's a bit of range of motion here where you bring the leg across your body that you can also hit. We don't focus on it as much in the live, but now that you know all our regulars, you can, when you bring the leg back, you can start at a slight angle and feel that stretch, feel that contraction out here in the side of the hip. When we go in reverse, it looks a little bit like this. We're going to stand up straight. We're going to flex the glutes. We're going to flex the hamstrings. We're going to pull that leg back behind us. We're going to try and keep this upper body relatively straight. If you lean forward a little bit, it's not the end of the world. You're going to feel that stretch right here in the front of that hip. We're going to lift that leg up to the side, right? We were doing this before. This is the same position as this. And we're going to rotate the legs. We're going to bring the knee down and the ankle up, which is the same position as this. And we're going to do the opposite. We're going to bring the ankle down and the knee up, which is this position. Now we're going to bring that knee to the front. And now that we know you can go a little bit further and come further across, you can add that in. Those are our two hip car directions. I hope that helps. Cool. All right, what else we got? Travel with Roxy, sending good vibes to Etan. I do FW calisthenics though. What is FW calisthenics? I don't know what that means, but I know what calisthenics are, and it's good that you do calisthenics. Good on you for building some strength. Jason says, do you have a video on this that I could save? Yes, I have hundreds of videos for this live. This live is recorded. We do one every single day, and over on YouTube, they are posted, and the username on YouTube is at splits on the side, so the same username as on TikTok, which is where you're asking this question. And if you go to my YouTube profile, youtube.com/@splits on the side, there should be like videos, there should be shorts, there should be streams. All of the videos under the stream file is just a recording of the daily lives. So you can go back to tonight's probably in a couple hours. You can go back to yesterday's now, probably. I hope. I haven't checked. Um, and there should be hundreds of those that you can go check out. So you can actively go check when I made some progress, or maybe I didn't make any progress in between some of the stretches too. Cool. All right. What else we got? Oh, Travel Roxy explained it in text. I probably just should have read it. And let's keep going. 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 We had a lot of people hit follow. Thank you, everybody. Dolce, maybe. This stretch is a new level for me. Amazing. Good. Thank you for trying new things with us. It is not easy to jump into a live workout. So I'm glad you tried it, and I'm glad you gave it a shot. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening in Spanish, and I don't know what's going on, so I'm just gonna smile and continue. And what else we got? Angela just said, I just finished a Tai Chi workout. It was fun. That's amazing. Tai Chi is really cool. I've only taken one Tai Chi class. Uh, and while some of the movements seemed a little bit crazy, a lot of it made a lot of sense. As somebody who likes movement and likes how to, get certain muscles and weird things moving and stretched out, I was like, man, Tai Chi is sick. They just make it look really funny to Americans, and it gets a bad rap. Uh, let's see what else. Um, It says I thought it was frozen for a second. I just forgot my volume was up. I don't know what I was doing. Hopefully, I was just in a stretch, counting down 30 seconds, and it was just boring. You didn't miss anything. LOL Space Monkey says you were amazing. Oh, thank you for the compliment. That's awesome. Chase sends awesome emojis. I'm scrolling. I'm seeing if there's any questions, comments somewhere in the middle from some of the stuff that we are doing, and we're already at the bottom. Cheryl asks what happens when you have bunion. We talked about that. Devi Cheryl has some struggle with balance. Glass has asked all the way at the bottom. Hi, do you have YouTube? Yes, I have a YouTube channel. It is called Splits on the Side. It's the same username as on TikTok. So if you go to youtube.com/@ symbol, like at Gmail, at symbol, splits on the side, all one word, no hashtags or anything like that. Splits on the side, no dashes. You'll be at my profile. Cool. What else we got? Debbie says, gradually I can sit cross legs and squat for some minutes doing some of your positions, Ken. Thank you a lot. Oh my gosh, that's incredible. That's so cool. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. And thank you for practicing the consistency to build that mobility. It's awesome. I'm going to take a screenshot. I don't know when I'm going to look at this screenshot, but I'm going to take a screenshot. And it's going to be an awful screenshot because it's just the side of my head. All right. That is everything, I think. Oh, Musabi AZC says hi on YouTube. I think now I have seen everything. We are 75 minutes or so deep into the live. We finished the workout. We've cooled off for probably 10 or so minutes now. So I hope you guys are ready to call it and enjoy the rest of your day with whatever else you gotta do. All right. Somebody on YouTube, bro, you look like computer science. That's I don't know. I'm not offended. My brother did study computer science and is a computer science professional now. So I guess I would look like my brother, and so it's partially true. What else we got? Lazum sends a bunch of emojis, but they come in brackets, I guess. Wow, wow, heart, 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 heart. Gracias. You're welcome. All right. That's it. That's everything. That's all I got. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility. I hope to see you tomorrow because we do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you are not in the Eastern time zone, you don't know what 9 p.m. means because maybe you're like Debbie and it's morning for you. We started this live an hour and 15 minutes ago, and that is the same time that we start every single day. And I have a track record. If you have somehow listened to me tell you about YouTube over and over and over again. If you go onto YouTube and you check the streams tab for all the video recordings, you'll see I've been doing this for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of days. So you can bank on the fact that I'll be here tomorrow practicing some consistency with you guys then, and the day after, and the day after that, and the day after that. Yeah, cool. All right. Musabi says, "Oh my God, see you tomorrow." Cool, wonderful. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to say. I don't.